The process of how we've worked together has sort of changed over the years as far as the technology, really, because at the beginning, when you were making a record, everyone had to be in the same place at the same time. And that's just how it was. I remember doing their second record, and everyone's at the studio for 12 hours a day. And nowadays, it's become much more sort of remote in the sense that someone will come in, someone might send in their part. Everyone doesn't have to be in the same place at the same time in order to make a record anymore.
I was so excited when Cloud Collaboration came out because I just finished a home studio at my place here in LA, and we've all got setups basically at our houses now. So it's gonna streamline the way that we collaborate with each other.
Take, for example, like I have a really old upright that has a very particular sound, and I've put tons of tape in it, so it sounds crazy. You know, I'm not dragging that down to a studio.
Maroon 5, they're very busy, and it's tough sometimes getting everyone's schedules to line up. So if Jesse can be at home working when the other guys aren't available, it doesn't stop him from being creative. So it doesn't require everyone to be creative at the same time. It allows them to be creative in their own space. And then everything kind of comes here as a central hub, but it's really easy for everyone to share everything.
The programming element of it, to me, is probably my favorite part about it. I would sit there and maybe move a kick drum here and there on the grid, or add a new trap hi-hat, or just change these like little bits and pieces. You don't want to like bore someone in the room with just like messing around with 100 hi-hat sounds. The fact that I could just do that with headphones, and when I was ready, go boom. That's just one example.
One of my favorite aspects about cloud collaboration is definitely the freeze feature, where I can have a track that might have 10 plugins on it, and I can freeze all those plugins, have the track still sound exactly the way that it does with those plugins on it, send it to somebody who doesn't have those plugins. They can hear it exactly the same, work on it, send it back to me. I can then unfreeze it, still be able to tweak the plugins, but we can both be working on it, hearing the same sound. There's no, I promise it's gonna sound better once you hear it with the plugins on it. It sounds the same regardless.
The feature in the software that helps keep everything kind of organized and not let it go off the rails is the track ownership feature. And it's really clear who has control of the track on which computer. Each track has its ownership light on, and somebody can be working on that track. Other people could be working on other tracks of the session on their computer, but they just can't work on the one track that the main computer has ownership of.
It's so simple to be able to see what's been changed, you know, what needs to be uploaded, what needs to be downloaded. It's a quick glance and you know exactly what state the session's in at any given time.
It's an interesting time right now because, for example, on Instagram, there are all these amazing musicians that you can find just randomly, and then you can reach out to them and say, hey, do you want to add something to this track? And it doesn't matter if they live, you know, in Istanbul. Right now, this is just the tip of the iceberg with this software, and as we move forward, our future albums could be heavily based around cloud sharing.
Well, I think it's going to allow people to be creative wherever they are. There's not going to be a limitation as far as once you're in a studio, then you can be creative. Now, if they're on the road and I'm here and we're working on a song and someone has an idea, they can send it to me instantly.
I don't know about you guys, but sometimes that red button kind of freaks me out a little bit. The fact that you can just spend time at your own place, mess around with something, really get it right. And if you get it right, it's ready to go and you just send it over.
I'm one step away from getting a Pro Tools tattoo. I stare at a Pro Tools screen every day, and by choice. It's definitely the way that I work. And I'm excited that cloud collaboration is only going to make it that much easier for me to do what I do.